Okay, so we got a PLC here. What kind of PLC is this?
It's a touchscreen, easy PLC, easy automation PLC.
Yeah. So maybe I may at some point ask the guys in India to get one of those just for fun also.
Sure.
And you've got it connected with the PX2, and you're running at, like, what baud rate are you running at with this thing?
9600.
9600.
And it's all specified in the document that we'll be supplying to you guys.
Yeah, and it's a 2-wire RS-45 Modbus, not a 4-wire.
Correct.
That was one thing we ran into. That's another issue where there's some variability. Okay, anyways.
So you guys are doing 4-wire. The PLC is actually set up for 4-wire too. And what you do in these situations is you just jumper the send and receive together.
Send and receive together.
Yeah, and it works fine.
Okay. Okay, good. So you've got this thing hooked up, and this is your application software that you use to set up the unit, tell it what range and how often it measures. And
this is actually not. No, Olga will show you that. That is actually on the PC. This is actually just my programming software for the PLC.
Oh, I see.
And this is just a quick program, just as a demonstration to show you guys the, the Modbus working with a different instrument. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we had very little trouble, programming it. I'm not a PLC programmer by any means, and we were able to get this together in, about a day. So,
oh, good.
No big deal.
Good. Is this actually a light, or does it just look like it's a light?
It's actually an LED. Yeah, I'll show you. We have some diagnostics in there. Not really set up, but yeah, it's an RGB LED, and it's not set up right, but it'll change colors. Oh, there you go. In the event a fiber is broken, it will go to red.
Now let me ask you, I was talking this over with Mike, like the previous generation unit, there was diagnostics in it, but it had this funky stuff with it blinking, and that nobody could remember what the heck these blinkings were.
Sure.
So that's cool that it does that, but you're still back to this issue of like, hey, it's blinking. So I presume that there's some things that come through on did it change like a diagnostic tag or something when it did that?
It will, yeah. So that's not actually, we don't have that set up in here yet, but we will very shortly.
How many different diagnostic messages are there that I can then translate into understandable alphanumeric information on my display?
Sure, I would imagine we're going to have roughly 15, if I remember
15.
correctly.
Because that's what I want to do. I want to just have it just come right up on we got a 2x20, alphanumeric display,
sure.
And if this thing comes unplugged, I want it to say, like, based on whatever your code is, that will be...
Check your probe or check the instrument. Yeah, and that's really, we kind of want to distill this down to two very simple issues.
Yeah.
Which of the common issues are, what's wrong? Is the probe broken? Is it dirty? Or is the instrument itself broken?
Right.
So really those are going to be the two issues we distill it down to.
Cool.
So hopefully, super simple for your customers to interpret.
Yeah, and is that it? It's been a while since I looked at the spec. There's that stuff already in the spec that we saw?
This is the spec you saw. Obviously, I've had some
changes?
and some minor changes, yeah, but this is the spec you see.
Diagnostic bit. So this is the thing we would look for to generate our alphanumeric information?
Yeah.
And where is this diagnostic bitmap? Can you just show me that?
It's actually not written in here yet. But the diagnostics, this is obviously going to be the register for it. Bitmap to be determined.
Okay, so you haven't published that yet?
We have not, no.
Okay. And when do you anticipate publishing that portion?
It will be absolutely if not by the end of this week, next week.
Okay,
so
good.
Very soon.
Yeah, I've got a lot of people coming up to me every 3 seconds. Hey, when's the software going to be done? Dude, we haven't even got the unit yet.
Yeah, I know we're behind.
I got my own engineers. They're the ones that I'm supposed to be bugging them. They're bugging me. Like I'm like, no, you've got this backwards.
We're not going to get this done.
Yeah, you got it backwards, man.
They just want to blame the boss.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Anyway, that's kind of funny. So anyway, that's cool. Oh, great.
But
okay.
yeah, that's about it. I don't have too much to show.
Okay,
We just
so let me
wanted
get
to come
this.
up with
So basically, right now it's putting out. This is the code, the concentration, basically your ADD code or whatever is coming
This is
through.
just A to D, yeah. And
Yeah.
obviously it's really noisy now. I'm not measuring anything. There's no settings
Right, right.
made up, so it's
Just putting out the raw
just
stuff.
putting out some data, yeah.
So basically, you can just think of this as an A to D, a fluorescence to A to D conversion.
Well, in this
And with some
respect,
diagnostic
yes,
stuff.
but I mean, all will show you the PC software, and it becomes much more than that in your initial setup, if you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know, if you want it to just output the A to D and your instrument takes care of everything else, that's totally fine with us.
Yeah,
but
that's
it can
kind
be
of the
much
way
more.
that's kind of the way we're going with it.
Okay. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine.
Okay. Well, that's simple.